If you are caring for an elderly person, you may notice that he or she may like to slide down the bed, especially if you incline the bed. So when using hospital bed, normally we put them on an incline because then, especially after meal, because it will prevent any reflux of food moving upwards into their lungs, causing aspiration pneumonia. But then they like to slide downwards. Now, in this video, I would like to share with you 2 ways that you can lift up an elderly person who have slide down. One is with a 2-person assist, and another is if you have to do it single-handedly. Now, with the 2-person assist, what we can do is that you don't need a slide sheet, but in this picture, right, you can see that there is the 2 nurses are holding on to opposite sides of the patient. They roll up the cloth or a towel. They don't use a slide sheet because slide sheet you got to take in and out. So they use like a towel or part of the bed sheet, an additional bed sheet that they put behind the patient. So they roll it up, and after that they carry the carry the part on the area near the shoulders and another one near the hip. So, and on cue, they actually lift up the patient. Now, before this is done, the bed has to be flattened and the pillow removed, so it makes it easier to lift. But there is a way that the nurses in the Thai hospital have taught me. It is a quick way. But sometimes when you get help, the person don't really have a lot of time to assist you, right? Or you're in a hurry to have to lift the person up back to the bed. So these nurses, they were in the very busy Thai wards, in the hospital ward. The time when my mom was hospitalized, it was the common ward whereby they have to attend to many patients, so they have find ways of doing it quickly. Now, referring to the picture, you will see, right, that the 2-person holding on to the, you can put a slide sheet, no problem, or a towel or something, and then they move upwards, right? Now, instead of holding on to that sheet, you hold on to the person's clothing. So the hand actually hold one hand, hold to the you take the clothing. Normally, if the person if you're caring for them, they should be wearing loose clothing if they are more bed bound, because then it will be easier to take off their clothes when you change or you do a bed bath, right? So you hold on to the part of their outer shoulder, and you actually hold on to a clump of cloth of their shirt. And then the other hand, you hold on to their waistband, either a skirt or the pants, and then you actually like pinch some cloth from there, and then you hold. And the other person opposite you do the same. So on cue, then you move upwards, like 1, 2, 3. 2-person move in unison upwards. It's very quick. And because you're holding on to the person, it is very close to their body, right? So it doesn't require effort on your end. It doesn't cause you back problem when you're moving them upwards. But there is a danger in this method, is that when you do this, you have to do it in unison. Means both person, right, must follow the cue, and both person must be holding the same thing. You cannot have one person hooking the arm under one armpit or holding onto the cloth or something. Both person must be holding on opposite side of the clothing, because if not, right, and if let's say the timing is not synchronized perfectly, you will end up, when you pull, you will end up dragging the cloth, right? Because you are holding it some of the cloth in your hands, right? And then you're dragging up, right? So if the other person's timing is a bit slower, when you pull and you drag up, then it may cause the clothing to actually move one side, and it may cause like like depending on the material, it might have a cut, or it may hurt the patient's neck. So this one you have to do in unison. And then once you are used to doing it, right, instead of like lifting up and then going upwards, what you can do is you can even do in a sliding position, like you just slide the person. At one time we were so used to using this, right, that my mom's head actually, I did not even need to remove the pillow. We just need to flatten the bed, and then after that we just slide with the pillow upwards. So it's very, very quick to use this method. But one of the disadvantages of this method is that their clothing will move upwards after you do the move. So one person will stay back and then adjust the clothing accordingly. So this one I find really, really helps. Really helps when you have two persons to assist, especially if the person is a bit on the heavier side. Now, what happens if you're alone? This is a method that I come out on my own when it comes to lifting my mom alone. There is no other video I could find that have this method. So I will actually do my best to explain, and then you try to see if you can try to use this method. It's very effective, it's quick, and it doesn't hurt your back if done correctly. So reference back again to this video. This video is actually in Thai language, and it have various ways to move and lift patients. So I will actually put the link to this video in the description box. There are many ways of lifting, so you may try to see and get some idea, because in Thailand, in hospitals, they don't use sophisticated equipment when it comes to lifting and moving patients. It is with consideration, like many caregivers also don't have that, would not be able to afford or be using those things. So what they do is always they use a human to do the lifting, or maybe from bed to wheelchair they use a transfer board. That's the most they do. Now, for a single person, if you are alone, like if you have help, if let's say there is people during the day, but what happens if it's like you notice that your loved one have slide down at 2-3 a.m. in the morning, or sometimes after lifting them, like what my mom do, she will slide down like almost immediately or in less than 10 minutes. So if I'm going to get help, right, I will be asking like one day 10-20 times for help to lift her up. What I did is that, okay, for this lifting for single person, now you refer to this picture where the nurse hand is behind the neck of the person. Before doing this, please tell your loved one that you're going to hug, and then you're going to lift them upwards, so that you prepare them. Don't just lift them, they may get a shock. So let them know. And this method, I like it because there's a personal touch, and I'm hugging, more or less like semi-hugging my mom when I do it. So looking at this picture, if you are standing on the right side of your loved one, they're standing on the right side, just like this, the nurse is doing on the right side, right? Your left hand hooked behind, is placed behind the neck of your loved one, just like this picture shown. And your right hand hooks on your loved one's right armpit in an upward hook position. Means you put your hand on the armpit facing the top of the bed, and then you hook on the armpit. I hope you can visualize this. So your left hand is below the neck, like shown in the picture. Your right hand, you hook on the left armpit. On the right armpit. Then you can actually go towards the left, because if you are on the person's right side, when you move towards the left, you're moving up the bed, upwards the bed. Again, a reminder is that you need to flatten the bed and remove the pillow when doing this, so it's easier. When you move, you can actually move onto the left, and then the person will sort of like glide through also on quite effortlessly. But if you find that you don't have that much of strength, then what you can do is that you can actually use your left, you raise your left leg, and then you put your left leg, you bend it and rest it on the bed, so that there is leverage. So when you are moving, right, as you move your body towards the left side, you actually would use engage a bit of help from your left leg muscle to help to pivot and to have the momentum during the lifting. So this method, I find it helps a lot. Now I'm lifting my mom on my own already. I don't ask for help with the lifting, because the one thing, if they are doing the two-person lifting, my mother's clothing tend to come like it moves up her back, so I have to adjust. This one I do not need to adjust, and I can do it anytime, any time of the day when she slides down. So I find it very convenient, and I hope that this method is helpful to you. After doing the lifting, then put back the pillow beneath their neck, and then after that you can raise the level of the bed accordingly. So hopefully this helps. Thank you.